Hello everybody, welcome to the first video of my channel Brilliant Mover. My name is Kaushik and in this video I'm gonna be playing some speedrun games on my account. Let's start. So our rating right now is 303 and I'm gonna try to pump that up all the way till 2000 or somewhere near that. So that's my goal. In this, oh, opponent just resigned? Okay. So in this rating climb, we'll try to get to 2000 or more. So we get the white pieces. We could start with e4 or d4. I'm going to start with e4. I'm going to try to play the Italian game, which starts with knight to f3. Okay, we won't get to see that. Okay, I think we can defend our pawn. This is the Alakind's defense. Turns into a Scandinavian kind of. So I guess we have to take the pawn. We could also play d4 and turn it into the Blackmar Dmar gambit, but we can just keep it simple and take. And when the knight recaptures, um, yeah, when the knight recaptures, I usually like to just take the knight, and then continue developing. So knight to f3 and bishop to e2. Sorry, bishop to e2. Yeah, we'll unpin. Probably play d4 and bring the bishop out, or we could just castle. Okay. Hmm. I guess idea is to play e4. So I think I play d4. Now if we play d4, if we play d4, we have to be concerned about what happens if he takes here. Then we can just take back with the knight or even with the queen. Say with the knight. So I think we're good if he takes. What if he pushes? Probably have to move the knight. But then we get this square on e5, so I think we could play there. So I'm gonna play d4. Okay, he pushes. So we'll go knight to e5. If he wants to trade, he can trade. Ooh, okay. So he's threatening the pawn. He's also giving me a free pawn. But there is something I can see which is even better than all this. Can you find it? Yeah, it's just the fact that that's just a free bishop. I mean, it's just a free bishop. If he checks, let him check. No, I didn't mean to remove that. So we'll just take it. Yeah. Whoa, okay. So that's just an obvious queen blunder. D takes e5, wins the queen. And this is what most people at 300 elo do. They just blunder pieces out of nowhere. So, okay, check. We could block. We could move the king somewhere like here. Think I'm gonna block. I mean, like, we're up so much material. Bringing the king to the center is not that bad. So if he takes, I'm gonna take back. Okay. Now there is a principle in chess: when you are ahead material, it's good to trade. So I'm gonna follow that principle and trade the bishops. Okay. Then let me play rook to e1. bringing another heavy piece into the action. Okay, castle. Um, think we can play a3 so that to relieve the tension on the pawn. Okay. I think I want to invade with my queen here, like queen to d7. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Attacking lots of pawns. All the pawns here. All the pawns here. Okay. So I think we can just take the pawn. Doesn't look like anything's defending the pawn. We'll take it. These are double isolated pawns, easy to take. Okay. What is he threatening? And I don't know. We can't take that pawn because obviously we lose our queen. So I think it's better to take this pawn. Okay. Okay. Now I think we can fight for the open file. The rook to d1. Let's do that. And if he takes, we'll take back with the rook on d1. Okay, he doesn't take, but I noticed something about the rook here. What is it? Well, the rook's just hanging, so we can take it. And if he takes with the rook, there is knight hanging. Yeah, he could do that, but in order to save the pawn on b2, we could play rook to e2. And now we don't have to think so much because the opponent has only a rook. We have three heavy pieces. Okay. Um, I'm looking for tactics like queen here, king runs up. We can't go queen there, so uh, but we could go queen here and then take the pawn. This looks like a pretty good idea. Okay, let's take the pawn. Now we have this weak target on f7, which we could hit potentially with a rook like this. So let's do that. Now we're attacking this pawn. Okay, runs away the king. Take it. Threatening another pawn. Okay, that's yet again another free rook. Let's make sure there are no stalemates. So, like, if we take the rook, he has only a king and two pawns. Think he can push the pawn, and then I see a mate, so we should be good to go. And he can also move his king, so there's technically no stalemate. Okay, that just leads to mate in one. Could you guys mate in two? Sorry, could you guys find it? Well, I don't know if it's a mate in two, but it's definitely a mate. So after the king runs there, we don't want to stalemate the king, so what about we give up the pawn, but we have more attacks now. Yeah, so that position was mate. Let's see in how many moves. Yeah, this was a mate in two. Yeah, so this was a mate in three. That's what I said. Okay. I don't think we have to analyze this game. Let's move on to the next game. So now we're 338. White pieces again. Let's start with e4. This time let's try to play the Italian game. Okay, French defense. So we'll play d4. He's probably gonna go d5. No? Okay. Knight to c3. We'll defend the pawn that's being attacked. Okay. We'll develop. And I'm probably gonna pin the knight with bishop to g5 since it looks very nice. Okay. First question I'm asking is to myself is what is the knight threatening by going to b4? What is it threatening? Hmm, don't see anything that it's threatening right away. I think we just continue with bishop to g4. We are threatening e5 to win the piece. So black has to be a little bit careful. Okay. Let's see what black's gonna play. If they play bishop to e7, I'm probably not gonna go e5. Okay. So if you guys can look and spot a free piece, well, that is the queen on d8. Sorry, queen on d8. So let's take it. Now I'm feeling pretty good about our position. We can continue developing. Oh, they just resigned. Okay, easy victory. Finally, we get the black pieces. Hmm, I guess we'll just play asymmetrical e5. Okay, we get bishop to c4. Um, Usually when they play bishop to c4, I think the queen's gonna come out to h5 to try to checkmate us. So we could just play knight to f6, developing a kingside piece, which helps us to castle quickly, and also it defends against queen h5 or queen f3 threats of checkmate. So they play f3. Okay. What I'm thinking of immediately and what I think I'm gonna play is the move knight takes e4. Now knight takes e4. If f takes e4, we have queen to h4 check. The king is forced to either lose castling rights or play g3 and lose a rook with queen takes e4 with queen takes e4 and mm, queen takes h1. I think that's pretty good. Now black could also block with the queen and play queen takes pawn followed by queen takes e7. But I think we're just fine. So let me play the move knight takes e4. Okay, queen to h4 check, attacking the pawn. Okay, they just give us the free rook. This is good for us. Okay, we could take the bishop or we could take the rook, but since the rook is just hanging, and remember, a rook is worth more than a bishop by 2 points. So I think I'll take the rook. Also, this forces white to give up castling rights as they'll have to move their king. And then I think we could play bishop to c5, or we could just take the pawn. Queen takes h2. They block with the knight. That's just a free piece. We'll take it. check. Once the king goes here, yeah, probably gonna continue to try to attack the king, starting with queen takes h2. We win a pawn, attack the king, and where is the king gonna go? Okay. Um, we could play queen takes g3, or we could play bishop to c5. I think bishop to c5 looks better. Okay. We could take with the pawn, or we could take with the bishop. Again, doesn't really matter. I think I want to take with the bishop. They might sack the queen here. I don't know if they will, but let's see. Oh, they don't. Okay. So, do we have any checkmate here? We can't go here. We can't go there. Wait, where are the places we could go to with the queen to deliver a check? Um, let's see. We could go here. Yeah, we could go check there. Um, I mean, it just looks like it's over for black. But we could just take the pawn too. Nothing wrong. But I think queen here checks better. Let's do it. They block with the queen. There is a tactic which you might see. If they block with the queen. If they block with the queen, we can play the move f5, forcing the king to give up its defense of the white queen with king takes f5, and then we can just take the. Okay, we do see it. So we'll play f5 check. Yeah, the king has to take, and then this is just a free queen. We might get checkmate to follow in a few moves. Now I think it's just game over. I mean, what are you gonna do as white? I'm like, this pawn is hanging with check. Okay, they just abandoned the game. Okay, that was a good one. So let's play e4 again. We've been having some good success. Okay, I might be able to show you what's called the Italian game. Oh yes, we do see it. So the Italian game starts with the move bishop to c4. And if they play bishop to c5, it's called the Giuco piano. Okay, knight to d4. So like I'm immediately thinking of what happens to the pawn on e5. Now maybe they want to go something like queen e7, but then I think we can just win a rook right here. So shouldn't be in too much trouble. Let's take it. Okay. So they blunder a knight. We can take it with the queen, or we can take it with the knight. Probably gonna take it with the queen to continue the attack on the f7 square. Okay. Now we could keep the queens on the board if we're really attacking. But since we're up so much material, we could just trade. Yeah, I think I'm gonna trade. And then we could take this pawn, which allows us to take the rook as well. I don't know why her opponent is pre-moving, so we can just take the bishop and it's just free. That's just a free pawn. I mean, like, what is this guy doing? I mean, like, he's pre-moving his last three moves. So crazy. Okay, that's just another free bishop. Bruh. Now we have a hanging knight here too. Let's see if he'll be able to take it. Okay, he just gives us the opportunity. Oh my god, bro. That's a free rook. Like this bro's literally hanging everything. Oh my god. Okay, let's castle long. Okay, he gave up that. Now I think I'll just bring my pieces back to safety. Or we could just continue attacking the king. Check. And usually there'll be this kind of punishment which your opponent has to face if they play really bad. I think that's what I'm gonna do in this game. If you haven't heard about the reset mate, that's what I'm gonna try to do now. So it starts by first taking all of your opponent's pieces. Check. We'll remove that recap. But we gotta make sure it's not a stalemate. So I think we just pre-move some moves of the pieces back to the original squares. So for example, this knight belongs on g1. This Oh wait, actually we could do it like this. This knight belongs on g1. This bishop belongs on f1. Um, this knight belong. Wait, sorry. Yeah. So this knight belongs on b1, and the king belongs here, and the rooks go there and there. So he's probably gonna try to stalemate, but we'll not give him a chance. Why is our opponent taking so much time? Don't know. This seems weird. So we're gonna try to do the reset checkmate without the opponent resigning. Let's see if we get to do it in an actual game. Now I actually don't remember a lot of the moves. Okay. I mean, what can we do? Okay, so I think we can play one more 10-minute game. D4. Okay. So against D4, I think it's best that we just play D5. We could also play knight to F6, but if your opponent gets a pawn in the center, you can get a pawn in the center too. Okay, knight to c3. We'll just play knight to f6. Whoa, okay. I think that's just a hanging knight. Let's take it. Probably want to play e4 and turn this into somewhat of a Halloween gambit, maybe? No? Okay. So we could develop the other knight, then the bishop. Okay, so when they play queen to d3, I'm immediately thinking of the move knight to b4 because it just forces the opponent to move the queen again, and then we can follow it up with bishop to f5. Okay, they just pre-move casting. Okay, so that's just a simple tactic where we just take the pawn and we fork the king and the queen. So we'll win the queen in the next move. Okay. Now I think I'll go f6 just to get rid of this annoying pin on the queen. So f6. Think that's just a free bishop. Hmm. Why are these opponents playing like this? Okay, we can trade. Oh my god. That just looks like a free rook. And it is. I mean, okay, we can trade. I even doubt if he's gonna take back. Okay, he does. Surprised. Okay, I guess we can play e6. Bring the bishop out probably and castle. Now we can just take all the pawns. And I think now we can try to get the reset mate, but I don't know how to do it with black. That's the problem. It's just a free rook. Now I'm just gonna start pre-moving some. I'm gonna start pre-moving few moves. Of course, we do have a mate, but who wants a mate? So we'll go check. Oh no, I accidentally waited. Okay, it's fine. This is just such a cool checkmate. But still, if we go to this position, let's count how many checkmates there are. We go one, we could go two, we could go three. Hmm, we could go probably mate in two. There is. We could go check here into mate. Yeah, this is just such an awful game by our opponent. Yeah, so okay, so our rating is 398. So we'll continue with the next video. Hope you liked my video on this about the speedrun. If you liked the video, click the thumbs up and subscribe. Bye bye.